THFC, boy, this is a problem. This game today, what a game, eh? What a load of Thomas Frank. I mean, if Brentford had nicked a goal and won that game and got the 3 points today, nobody could complain. It might say that we had more shots than them and we had more shots on target, but that's not a reflection of the game today. I don't think so. It was poor, it was flat. Players couldn't even pass 5 yards. So that says to me, players ain't even passing in training. And they're definitely not shooting. How good is Jed Spence, eh? I think Jed Spence is probably the best, wing back in the country right now. Left side or right side. And that's just my opinion. I think Odebert had a good first half, but phased out. Kudus wasn't the Kudus we know. For some reason, he seemed very flat nowadays. Maybe due to the manager and his tactics. But there's nothing good I could say about the game today. I suppose the only good thing I can say is that we didn't lose and we got a point. But it seems like every time we're supposed to push ourselves up in the league and get the opportunity to capitalise, we never capitalise under Thomas Frank. And I just think, is it worth giving him the money to spend in the transfer window? If the club said, you know what, we're going to see it out to the summer, we're not going to spend no more money, we're going to work with what we have, I couldn't even argue, because Thomas Frank hasn't shown me nothing to say, do you know what, he deserves to spend money and bring in a certain calibre of players. Like, let's go back. Kudus, he brought him in. Yeah, started nice. Been effective in most games, but been ineffective in a lot as well. Then you got Shabby Simmons, who took so long to get into the team, and when he finally got into the team and got into a groove, he got suspended for a challenge that was probably a yellow card. Yeah, then you've got Tell, who has come on into a lot of games and had an effect and changed around the games, but doesn't seem to be getting any minutes under the manager that signed him for the second time. This is much worse than Ange Postecoglou, because at least with Ange Postecoglou we could see a style of football. Yeah, and we could always say, do you know what? He had a lot of injuries. And looking at it now, he done extremely well under that injury crisis, because Thomas Frank has had a full squad, believe it or not, to filled out. Do you know what I mean? He's had a solid starting 11 and at least 3 solid substitutes on the bench out of the 5 in every game so far this season. And he's also had what we would call the best back 4 to work with. So for me, it's not good enough, and something needs to change. If the manager's not changed, then the manager definitely needs to change some of his tactics and start being a little bit more courageous. Do you know what I mean? And allowing certain players to express themselves in the way that we know they can and be dominant. Now, a lot of people say it's very important to get a left back or a striker. I think it's very important to get a footballing midfielder. Get an 8 who can do everything, who can chip in with goals, who can create play, who can break up play, who can read the game, who can provide solutions in a game. That's the type of player we need to get. And now it's time for Thomas Frank to show his credibility or ability of being a manager and going out and getting a player who can dictate play. Do you know what I mean? Right now, 25-30 million for Damsgaard, that wouldn't be a bad deal, because at least we know he can dictate play. But we need someone better than that. But that's just a little example. But as always, come on you Spurs.